Good evening, everyone. So, I today on my analysis, I will have a EMRO, EMA 50, and I also have stochastic oscillators um, as my indicators that I will be using to confirm my confluences. So let's see how it goes as we have gold has been trending. But let's go to 4 hours or daily to check their overall direction. So let's see how the overall direction is going on daily. So I think there is a little network issues, it's a bit slow. So let's see if we can open another channels to do that. So on our 4 hours, let's go to 4 hours. On our 4 hours, we're having a very clear bullish direction. So that shows that all through this zone from all through this zone, so we have a very clear ranging. But now that it has broken out of this range, we actually did a very calculative stop on resistance, hoping that when it gets to 4,165, there will be a reduction or there will be a pullback for a sell. But fortunately, we saw a very high bullish move. So before we can confirm that, let's see if there's any major news today that could warrant that action. So we go to forexfactory.com. On the Forex Factory, go to your calendar and you check today is 5th. Now, today actually there was not actually a major news, but we have FOMC for 9 p.m. and ADP non-farm employment change, PPI. But all these were not really too active, but definitely they are all fundamentals, it can have an effect. So let's go on with what we have. So as we have now, we have the bullish has been shown that crossed the it has actually crossed the ranging level. So it means that it's going to be continue to move up. Now we have a resistance. Let's see where next our resistance is. Let's go to daily to check our resistance. So on the daily chart, we still have a very clear move for gold to still rally up to uh, a very clear direction, maybe likely to this zone at 4,894, or possibly let's do a random figure. $4,800 as I estimated, because we know, you might not really get to that level at the beginning. So we still expect gold to rally to 4,800. From 4,000, we have 4,000 35 or 4,300 as the first move. So if gold gets to 4,300, we might likely have another break. So we expect gold to perform an action at this level. So if it gets to 4,300, 348, if there is any drop, maybe we might likely see a drop at this zone. So that shows that the market might likely rally round back again to a lower zone. Maybe if it gets to this place, we might likely see a move that may drop it back again, or we continue to go up to the next level, which is a very high point of a swing traders to enjoy more of this. So that is what we'll be having for gold. So we expect continue bullish as we can see for this week. If not, we might just drop down again to some level, maybe to this zone, then and pull up back again. This is what we'll be expecting for gold for this week. Now, that is for daily, but for us who are most time I use 30 minutes to 1 hour for my entry, so there may be likely be a zone where. So overall direction on the EMA, we're having our EMA to be below the overall trend. So it shows that market is still going to be bullish. If you check the stochastic oscillator, which are my major other confluences I use for confirmation, if you see the is a bit zigzag. When it's zigzag, it shows that the movement of these oscillators is just going up, up and up. It has not shown any direction that is, although it's overbought, but we expect a pullback. But that pullback must show when the oscillator's trend is showing us a direction of coming to cross the blue line. If the yellow line coming to cross the blue line, that is my confluences. If you check this, you see that the yellow line is crossing the blue line. On this other zone, the yellow line is crossing the blue line. On this other zone, the yellow line is also crossing the blue line. That level shows. So we've actually oversold. But if you go back to 1 hour, I think there will be some sales retracement. But that sell retracement might not really be confirmed that it's actually going to be effective. The same thing with 30 minutes. So at this zone, we have a very clear direction that market will retrace a little and the stochastic will still be ranging in between the oversold zone. So for now, we cannot actually determine any level of sell for now, except if there is a fundamental that would determine that. So for gold, overall direction is still a sell. If you are going to enter this as we have on the screen now, for me, I will expect this market to drop down a bit to this zone. So I wait for it to drop down to, sorry, not a sell. Wait for it to drop down to this zone. Once you can get to this place, then you go more for a buy. Then you can put your stop loss at this level. So a little bit below the last zone. So this is what we will be expecting for gold to perform. So at this point, we want this market to drop a little down. So it's going to drop a little down before we can continue to go up again. That is for gold. So if you have any question regards to this or any comment, just drop comment below on our link. You can also click, if you have not subscribed, if you are following us on live, you can also click and subscribe to us so that next time we come online, you will not be able to miss any of these our zone or our live trade or any video we will be posting regards to market structures, market analysis, and the future of general forex trading. Now let's go back to Nasdaq, which is also one of our key area we're looking at. So we're already on a sell on Nasdaq, and you can see that the Nasdaq was actually forming a head and shoulder. So this head and shoulder form, one shoulder has formed, head has formed. So we may likely have another retracement back again. That shows that this is one head, one shoulder, the head has formed, then we come down, then we expect another shoulder to form somewhere here, then we cannot go for down again as we expected. So that is what we expect for Nasdaq. But if you are on this already, it shows that our EMA has already go above the trend. That means we're looking out for more of sell. But the stochastic oscillators for 1 hour shows that it's overbought, oversold, and there is a level of retracement. That retracement will come up, will enable this blue line to cross the yellow, which is almost preparing to cross. Once it crosses this yellow, we expect that number to something like this. It's already crossed here. Once it cross, we expect it to come up here, then continue to go down. When it form this, that is when this action I explained above here on the second shoulder to form will take effect. So that means we are right by letting the chart pattern to form head and shoulder for another direction for a sell. But if you are going to enter this, allow the second shoulder to be formed. That means you wait for market to pull back to 29,828 or 29,900. Once you pull back to 29,900, then you can go for another entry for a sell. Although I've been on this sell for quite some time and it's very safe, my stop loss was somehow below this, above this range, but I think I moved my stop loss when I noticed that the head and shoulder was going to form. And if it's not going to form, fine, let it take me off. Then I already calculated my risk management to be very safe for what I'm actually predicting for this market. So meanwhile, I believe strongly that for this Nasdaq, we'll be expecting more of a sell for now. If you're on this trade, remember that risk management is key, and all what we discuss on this concerning this gold and Nasdaq are based on educational purposes, not financial advice, not any encouragement for you to risk your money. We always advise and encourage you to risk what you can afford to lose, because Forex is risky. Forex is not something that you just dabble into. Knowledge is key. Try to have the knowledge before you can do anything regards to this. So in overall direction of what we have here now, we have concluded that sell is the next option for Nasdaq. If you have any other pair you want me to do analysis on, whether currency pair, whether gold or indices or commodity, whatever, we are always active and available to do that analysis with you. But meanwhile, remember, if you have not subscribed to our channels, do so that you can also have access to continue to enjoy all our broadcasts we share on this channel, right? Thank you so much and have a wonderful day. I believe strongly that